What's up, everybody? I'm Matt.
And I'm Beth.
And today we're going to be reviewing the interior in the 2020 Nissan Titan. So this is the SL trim, so it isn't the top Platinum trim, but is the next level from Platinum. So pretty well-loaded truck. This one as tested is a little over $61,000, by the way, though, so definitely not a cheap truck as far as the price tag goes, but there are some things in this truck that do not feel like it's a $61,000 truck, in my opinion. You know, we've just been in a lot of the competition recently from Ram and from GMC, and you know, this it's interesting. I think it's good in some places and not as good as the competitors in a lot of other places. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously it's very spacious just as a overview here. It's, you know, pretty airy. I love this huge panoramic moonroof, which is new here for 2020. That is something that only, I think, Ram right now offers. I think the F-150 will offer it, and it's a new version here coming later this year. But in the meantime, I think this and Ram are the only ones that have that, and I think it's really nice.
Yeah, it's definitely really nice, especially for a truck. I feel like they don't ever have anything like this, and it's new and innovative for the truck category.
I think it makes it feel so much more airy too. Trucks are usually very kind of like closed off, and now it just kind of feels like, you know, a little bit more high end, I think, with that.
Yeah, and if you're using it for working or anything like that, it'll be really nice if you have a car full of people. Yeah, but anyway, so first thing, sitting down in these seats, you have these pretty soft, comfortable seats. This is Nissan's famous zero gravity seats, they call them, which supposedly are really great on long distance trips and things. I have not driven one of these for an extended period of time. I've only put 107 miles on this one here in my week of driving, but they're very comfortable on normal daily driving kind of stuff. Yeah, I definitely think they're really comfortable, but the only gripe I have is that you can't adjust the height, and I'm 5'5", and I feel like I'm sitting up so high. So anybody that's taller than that, you're gonna hit the ceiling, honestly.
Yeah, and I think the panoramic roof might also kind of bring that roof down a little bit to make that even worse. So yeah, if you have passengers on the taller side, you might want to skip the panoramic roof since that seat doesn't go down very far.
Yeah, it doesn't go down at all. It doesn't even go up. So it's just, I feel like I'm sitting high in general, which isn't bad. I like sitting higher, but at the same rate, I just feel like I'm sitting maybe a little too high.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they gave you the choice, you know? So yeah, also another thing with these seats, so they are heated seats, but they're not cooled seats. That is reserved for the Platinum trim, and so even the $61,000 truck, you can't get cold seats. And I think most other trucks at that price point, you can get that.
Yeah, if you're paying 60 grand, I feel like you should be able to have cold seats.
Yeah, it's really strange. Another strange thing, so moving on to the steering wheel here in the Titan, it's your average Nissan wheel, I think, with some of the buttons and stuff on it. I mean, it's fine, but the one thing is, so it is a heated steering wheel. You do get that here with the SL trim, but the button for the heated steering wheel is all the way over here. You have like your traction control off button nice and close to you, and your hazard button nice and close to you, but the one button you're going to use every single day, you got to reach all the way across the you know, dashboard here for, and it's just like that, it seems like no one thought through that decision. Like, how often are you going to hit the traction control off button, and how often are you going to hit the heated seat button?
Yeah, that's so crazy. I definitely think it should be over on the other side, or it should be right by the steering wheel.
Yeah, a lot of them do put it on the steering wheel these days, or some, even other Nissans will have it over here on the left-hand side. And there's a bunch of blank buttons over here where they could add it, and they decided not to, and instead put it all over here. So you can be in charge of my heated steering wheel here.
Yes, I mean, I just really would like your hands to be hot right now, so I'll just turn them on.
Yeah, it's just kind of an odd placement.
But at least there is a heated steering wheel.
True. Yes, this is first world problems, but this is what we do. We review interiors, and we have to point out the little pros and cons. Not big deal things, but just things that other competitors do better. But anyway, otherwise, you know, good steering wheel. One other thing, though, I do have to gripe about, though, in this area is this shift lever. So it has a column-mounted shifter here, which is, you know, pretty standard. Most of the other trucks in the segment do as well. But this one, I mean, it actually is loose for this handle. Like, I feel like this would fly off in 5,000 miles or something with how cheap and loose that feels. If you have too hard of a grip, I think you can just rip that right off. And also, you have this little other button here for manually shifting it, and that is super loose too. I mean, I've felt children's like toddler toys that have tighter plastics than this does. Like, I'm sorry, but that is just unacceptable. I think it just really again, you got to remember this is $61,000, and then you feel this, and you know the Nissan Versa has better button stuff than this does, which is really a shame. So that's just one thing that's a little minor gripe. While I'm ranting though, one little thing I'll mention here is the air vents. You know, so you have these normal air vents, not a big deal, but they have this block off thing for the top, like 1/3 of this vent. It's like, why couldn't you just have the vent go all the way up? Instead you have this block off thing. It just looks cheap to me, and it just kind of, again, just is another head scratcher thing. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there is a lot of plastic use in this area for sure.
Right, and with stuff like Ram these days having metal for a lot of this stuff, or metal looking stuff, that's where this kind of just feels like it's a little bit behind. There are a couple areas where it is really good. One thing, you have nice clear analog gauges. I mean, they're, you know, right in line with what you're going to get with most of the other competitors, but a nice large digital portion there in the middle, and so nothing to complain about there. You also do have, coming over to the center of the dashboard here, this really nice 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system. Now this is something that is new here for the Titan for 2020 as a top level option to have this screen, and it is pretty nice. Now this one for some reason has this defect. I don't know if someone messed up the screen or what. Nissan is aware of the issue and they say it most likely just needs replaced, but they wanted to send me the truck anyway, so I have to show it to you with this imperfection. I'm not sure how common this is, but just something to keep in mind. At least this one has this screen defect, but beyond that though, it's the same great Nissan interface you get in any of the other newest Nissan stuff. The Altima, all that kind of stuff has a very similar screen, and you know, it works well. You know, have a little home screen you can set up here, and you know, it's all very easy to use. The audio and stuff is great. You have a volume and tune knob that are pretty large, and it's straightforward. So I mean, I use this system a lot in the Altima and other Nissans in the past. No complaints there with it. Honestly, I think it's pretty good. It does have standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration as well. And Nissan is also, they offer, I believe, the biggest standard screen. You can get an 8-inch screen on the base model. So a lot of other base model trucks will give you a tiny little screen still. This still gives you a nice large touchscreen even on those base models, which is nice to have. It's also paired up with this Fender stereo. It's 12 speakers and 485 watts, which is a lot less than some of the top options. Once again, I think the Ram has like a 19 speaker system that's almost 1,000 watts and stuff. There's some really overkill stereos in some of the other trucks these days, and this just again further exemplifies how this isn't one of the most luxurious trucks out there, even in a nearly fully loaded trim. But it is a Fender stereo. It sounded pretty good. Again, nothing mind-blowing or anything, but was a good stereo. And if you're going for one of these higher end trucks, you know, you're probably going to want a decent stereo, and I don't think this one's going to let you down too much. But I'm not an audiophile, so I can't really dissect it a whole lot and give you a full long list of pros and cons of this system, but to my ears it sounded pretty good. Coming down, you have your standard automatic climate control here, which is good, very straightforward and easy to use. Yeah,
but it is just covered in plastic. Once again, I just feel like if you're paying 60 grand, it could be a little bit nicer.
Yeah, that's the bottom line here. It's just everything is plastic in here. There's not a single nice feeling material anywhere in this. You know, all the knobs and stuff, they have a little bit of a plastic, you know, trim ring around them that looks kind of shiny and metallic, but it just, I just
wish the finish was nicer.
Yeah, I know, and I can't shake the feeling that everything in here just kind of feels cheap. And you know, I mean, you do have like this dash pad which has some contrast stitching on it. That's like the one highlight here.
And there is this faux wood looking plastic, but it's also cheap. Plastic. Yeah,
like it looks really cheap to me.
Yeah, it does.
Again, it's it's tough with the Titan here. It's just the competition is just so strong. This is, you know, a massive market, and I just feel like this is just there's so many areas they could have improved it.
Yeah.
But moving on here, we have storage spaces in the Titan, which they do very well, and I would say that that is pretty much on par with the competition. So first off, the doors here, you have these massive pockets with 2 bottle holders in them. I mean, a huge bin, really. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Coming over to the center here, you'll see right above your storage areas a USB jack and a USB-C jack. Nice that they have both of those. You also see a power outlet in this area, and then you have your heated seat controls here, which is again just a very basic you know, old school style heated seat control. And then you have your first little bin here, which is pretty small but nice to have. And then you have this other like phone holder here, which is cool. And the interesting thing about all this stuff, you see the cup holders here behind it, these are all removable, so you can just pull this out and have this bigger area down here. And you can also configure this if you want your phone holder closer to you and the cup holders further away. You can change all that up, which is really cool that they let you do that. So that's great. And you'll see obviously there's this huge bin underneath of there, and so you could just pull both of those out there if you don't like cup holders holders for some reason or something, and have, you know, way more open space there, which is great. You also have these little slots here on the side of the transmission tunnel that are kind of shallow, but, you know, nice. You know, you can shove some small papers or things like that in there.
Yeah, you could shove your phone or some maps when you need to get out those old school maps to check out where you're going. That will definitely fit in there.
That's true, it will. And so that's another nice little space. You also have this huge center armrest, which does have some nice padding on it. But
yeah, it is pretty comfy.
It's a little firm though, not the nicest out there. But anyway, you open that up and you'll see another huge bin here that also has another removable tray, and then just a massive space with another little lower space beneath it and another power outlet in there. And so as far as all that stuff goes, very much, you know, right in line with most of the others out there, and actually I think slightly better than stuff like maybe a Toyota Tundra or something. So they do a very good job with all that.
But if you are sitting in the passenger seat and your elbows tends to go a little further back when you're resting on the center console here, you might find your elbow running into these back cup holders, and it's all plastic. So there you go, you have a bruised up elbow.
Yeah, especially even like if you're a taller driver and you have this seat way far back, you know, you could end up kind of, you know, having this, you're gonna have to put your elbow a little further up. Not a huge deal, but again, it would be nice if this was maybe a little bit longer or something. But yeah, it is nice you do have these extra cup holders here for the backseat passengers. Moving on to that back seat though, it is really spacious. So I'm 5'9", sitting behind myself. I easily have, I'd say, about 5 to maybe 6 inches of legroom to spare. Plenty of headroom, of course, this being a boxy big truck. And then, so in addition to these cup holders up front here, you also do have a fold-down center armrest with 2 cup holders built into it. There's also pockets in those doors with bottle holders built into them as well. And then whenever you look forward, you'll see dedicated air vents as well as 2 more USB jacks. You'll have a cigarette lighter type power outlet as well as a normal house current type power outlet back there, so you can have all kinds of stuff powered up through that. And there's also a couple different different ways that they have integrated storage solutions into the back seat as well. So you can fold down the back seat if you want. You can also flip up the seat bottom, and then you'll have a nice little tray you can fold out there, and, you know, have a nice flat load floor back there for that if you'd like. So that's good. Now, it isn't as many features as, again, some of the competitors. GM, for example, has other little pockets built into the seat back itself, and, you know, a couple other things like that. This doesn't have quite as many solutions, but, you know, at least you do have some capability back there and versatility. And that combined with this great panoramic roof for those backseat passengers should make for a pretty nice back seat. But it is worth noting that you don't have any heated seats back here on an SL model. So again, 61 grand, no heated rear seats. Keep in mind that Ram, for example, can give you heated rear seats and cooled rear seats in that Ram, which just goes to show how the Ram is still like the S-class of trucks. This is certainly, you know, not quite as decked out as that, even in a fully loaded version. The truck bed here in the Titan is your average 5.5 foot bed. You know, plenty of space for most truck buyers. If you do want a longer bed, you can go for the King Cab version of the Titan, which gives you a smaller back seat there, but will, you know, make that bed longer. And anyway, you know, so it's a good sized bed. It does have this Utilitrack system in the bed there, so you have these like little tracks in the actual bed, and then you have tie downs, and you can hook all that stuff together with a bunch of various accessories to suit whatever it is you'd like to do with that truck bed there. So that's nice. There's also a power outlet built into the bed, but it is also worth noting that it's a little trickier to get into this truck bed than most of the competitors. Some of the other competitors have either built-in steps in the bumpers, or they have some type of step that drops down or something. This doesn't have anything like that I could see, so you just have to hurdle up into the truck bed like you used to have to do in the past on all the other ones. You know, just not as many features. You don't have a power tailgate like you do with some of the competition. You know, GMC had that multi-pro tailgate, which I just showed off a couple of months ago, and that has all kinds of features built into it. And so again, you know, Nissan's not really innovating here. Like, yes, this is par for the course, or maybe slightly under par, but you know, it just comes down to, I guess, if you get a really good deal on one of these. They do have America's longest truck warranty of 5 years, 100,000 miles. The 5-year part's the same as all the competition, but the mileage is higher. So if you do a lot of miles in the first 5 years, this might make more sense to get that warranty coverage. But otherwise, I just can't find any angle to justify the Titan here. You know, it just seems like everyone else in the truck segment offers you at least the same, if not more, for the same money, and gives you more options. And yeah, it's a shame, because, you know, they don't sell very many of these, and now I can kind of, you know, understand the struggle with the Titan and why they don't sell more of them. You know, it is a cool alternative if you don't want an American truck for some reason. You know, you want something from another brand, you know, and you're not looking at a Toyota because those are also pretty dated. This is a little bit newer with its tech than the Toyota. That I will certainly say that.
But even if you do want something that is, you know, a little bit more bare bones and you don't really care about the interior that much, this truck could be really great for you.
Right.
So it really depends on what you like.
Yeah.
It just really depends.
And I mean, that is a good point. If you're not looking at an SL trim and you're looking for just a base model Titan, you do get that standard, you know, 8-inch touchscreen, which the others won't give you. You get a standard V8 engine, which the others don't give you. So I think a base model Titan or something lower trim Titan makes a lot more sense. Whenever you're getting after the, you know, big dollar stuff, that's where the competitors really will, you know, kind of outclass this a little bit. But that is a very good point. I think the lower end Titans are probably the better way to go if you're looking at a Titan, and that's where they really thrive. But yeah, so let us know your thoughts on the Titan interior in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care.